It's your boy Chad Rob. We back, baby. Hey, this is the hashtag iAMWHOiAM podcast, episode 32. It's crazy, man. And I have a special guest with me. We share the same name, so you know he's a great guy. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, I'm Chad Cunningham, local native of Maryville, Tennessee.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we are here at Better Mattress. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about Better Mattress and what we're seeing here.
Oh yeah, well this is the first ever Better Mattress location here, founded in 1992.
Wow.
This spot.
That's what's up.
Used to be Goodies next door.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
So
my dad, he started a company, and he used to always, I want to do a commercial, but I don't know what to say. So I was like, you just next to Goodies. So his commercial was next to Goodies. So we became the whole next to Goodies store.
Oh wow. That's what's up. Yeah, I've seen this place here all the time, and with the name and stuff, I would have never thought it was a local like Maryville, Tennessee, born and bred business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Anthony Jones, and he was telling me about you, man, and about how you started, you designing mattresses. Is that what he was saying?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. He said, well, basically, he said you the man behind everything.
He's the salt of the earth. I came to work for. I grew up around the business, and you run as fast as you can from it when you come around. I went to college, played baseball.
Oh, nice.
And then I came to work just for fun until I could figure out what to do, because I went to college to play baseball, not to college to play, to go to college.
Right.
So I started working, and then some of the manufacturers came in. You get to meet them.
Yeah.
A lot of the businesses that we work with are local. So I like Johnson City, Nashville area.
Okay.
And really just kind of naturally came by being able to design stuff, and next thing you know, the stores are full of design by us.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So talk to me about baseball. I didn't know you played baseball. Where did you go to school?
I finished at Austin P, which everybody played in the OVC. William Blount High School grad.
Yeah, okay. So did you play with Garland?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He was 2 years older than me.
Okay.
And so Garland, and he actually coached. I think after I left, he had coached us. So I was very underrated, undersized.
What position?
Second base.
Second base. Okay.
Played with heart more than skill, and it just kept on going. And, ended up playing Division I baseball. Tried out. Got to go to a free agent tryout.
Wow.
And
that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, one of my favorite players used to be Mark Lemke.
Yeah,
for the Braves.
Yeah.
Because my granddaddy was a big Braves fan.
See, I was younger than you, but Marcus Giles.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So you come back, you do the whole baseball thing, and you come back, and how I introduced myself and how we met was in the gym. We both brothers in iron. We love weightlifting, do it for fun or for pay, whichever. But we both love it, and so what kind of got you into that kind of the fitness lifestyle?
Well, true story. You could never really work out as a baseball player outside of functional training.
Oh,
and I'd always been in shape just from baseball practice. So when baseball ended, I came home, and I remember when it ended.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody I was coming home. I went to the tryout, got offered some contract stuff.
Yeah.
And I came home, and my dad was like, "Are you okay?" Because I said, "I've never been better. Like it was, I'm ready. I'm ready for life. I've been playing this game since I was 7.
Yes, sir.
So I had a fiance at the time.
Okay.
We ended up getting married.
Okay.
And I was in shape because of baseball, and then there was no baseball, and there was no shape. So 3 months after I get married, I'm like, my shirt is staying on.
Yeah.
And so one thing about me, like I said, with baseball, is that when I did something, I did it with everything. And so when I got into weightlifting, it wasn't just that. It was the lifestyle. Like, how do I maximize the results I'm looking for? And that is exactly how I got into it. So the first time, I didn't just start weightlifting. I weightlifted with a diet. And I remember I did this 40-day diet, and you don't see yourself the way. So
right.
So I'm 40 days into this diet, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, the food is crazy how that works.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
So that was it. And then that was back in 2010.
Okay.
So 10 years basically. So I was 24. I'm 34 now.
Okay.
And I started with a 40-year-old man. And he was just like, give it time. So now when people talk to me about weightlifting, you have a lot of young kids that come up to look up to you.
Right.
And, I explain to them, this doesn't happen overnight. The business doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's dedication and perseverance.
Right. Yeah, well, it's funny you say that because when I started lifting, I worked out with Stan Burnett.
I know Stan.
Okay,
Stan coached me in baseball.
Oh, okay, yeah, man.
Stan and Richard Gamble.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. Stan Burnett's a great guy.
Yes.
Man. I love that dude, man.
Yes.
But yeah, we started and he took me through his workouts as a grown man, and I'm a kid, just trying to keep up and fight. And he taught me a lot about like perseverance and keeping pushing and all that good stuff. So that was really cool.
It's always nice, to see somebody older that's still doing it, because then you realize that could be you.
Right.
And my goal, they're like, oh, I wish I looked like you. And I'm like, well, my goal is to still be doing it when I'm your age, because if I can't do it, then I've done nothing.
Right.
I haven't taken care of myself, because it's all, there is this vanity at a young age, but
definitely.
then it becomes about that perseverance. It becomes about, man, I actually enjoy this. Like if I don't go to the gym, I find my mental, I'm not as it's not as good.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny you say vanity too, man, because I remember being 200 pounds and man, I couldn't keep my shirt on. Now, man, I got a pretty decent physique, man, and I very rarely will you see me with my shirt off. So and it's crazy, man, how your mind.
Yeah, well, no, there's humility involved. There's a greater being for that.
Yeah. So you were talking about, in business, perseverance, man. Talk to me if you could tell some youngsters out there that may be hesitant about, maybe starting their own business or going into business for themselves, because I found out, fear is the main thing, because they don't know what if, if it doesn't work, if it does work, talk to them about, how you keep on going even through the hard times.
Well, one thing about me is that I'll gamble on myself, because I believe in myself. And I think that's a big thing, is like if you have doubt, you're really questioning yourself. And if you question yourself, don't do anything. So you go all in. So, a lot of people think that like this, my dad's location that he started in 92, that's his store. I don't have any stake in that at all.
Okay,
and so people think
good.
like, oh, well, he came through his dad's system and blah, blah. I opened my first store on a credit card. On my own.
Oh, because I just was under the impression that you kind of branched off. Okay,
Okay. I mean, I wanted to. I have a lot of siblings involved.
Yeah.
And you can get in that whole who's going to take it and all that.
Gotcha.
So I felt like the cleaner way to do it was to go do it on my own, and then I wouldn't have to say I got.
That's genius. That's
so
genius.
I learned the trade, right?
Yeah.
But as far as like getting into business, it was believing in yourself, and if it's gonna fail, it's because I failed. But if I failed, I learned something. So I wasn't scared. I never was scared. I don't do anything out of fear.
Gotcha. So you learned the business and you took out the loan on the credit card. And I'm trying to break it down in kind of layman's terms for people that's just, maybe wanting to get started. So did you just get a regular credit card, or
I had been smart and taken care of and I was.
There you go. Be smart with your money and your credit.
It was funny because I got a friend of mine, I'll never forget. His name's Brandon Ketron. He taught me about this American Express Blue Card.
Oh, okay.
And I got it at a young age, and I put stuff on it, and I just kept on paying it off. And then I got really I'd get excited if I could get a credit line increase.
Yeah.
So eventually I got it so high that I could buy a business, and so I bought a business. And then that grew into several. So now there's 5 locations, and and then that becomes about the right people, because there's only one of you.
Yeah.
So then I have a girl and a named Christina and a guy named Mike that work with me, and I mean they're just basically extensions of myself, and I wouldn't be anywhere without them.
Right. So that's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then bigger than any of all of that would just be faith and listening to the guidance that comes from above, and not not getting caught up in the worldly kingdom, and to the point where greed drives you, because I believe that you reap what you sow.
I can
so
do that.
in the business, that's kind of my motto to everybody, is like, hey, do unto others and reap what you reap what you sow. That's been something that is very dear to me, and I try to instill that in everybody.
Man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I know you on a time crunch, so I won't hold you long.
They actually, I'm good. They canceled.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'll keep on chopping it up then. We'll keep on chopping it up. Okay, so tell me about these mattresses, man. I'm looking around, man, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm gonna have to stop by here. And
if we go here, this is like the geek world. So this, here's these big muscle guys, and then he's gonna talk about mattresses.
Always something behind the muscle, man.
So probably what's most unique is that most of the stuff that we are involved with in design would be completely above any industry standard that you can think of. So like, we have cold covers called Sub-Zero that's exclusive to us, and that you can touch, and literally they're cold, because a lot of people sweat. I know, bodybuilders and all that.
Oh my God, it's bad.
Most people that come in these stores, they're like, golly, my mattress is sagging, and I had it for 5 years, right? We have beds that have guarantees that are twice the standard against that, so that you can, you're not putting a Band-Aid on, And then probably one of the most recent things that's really cool is the healthiest mattress in the world is by a company called Essentia out of Northern America and Canada. Okay. It's the only certified organic sleep products in the world, and we're the only partners they have. This is all of your professional athletes. NHL player Sidney Crosby, Ronaldo just got one. These have been studied by Johns Hopkins University, and they increase REM sleep, concussions. I mean, So a former Red Sox player went in one of our stores and basically said, y'all don't have anything good enough, and went and bought one of these they buy them online. I mean, and he buys it and tells the owner of the company, hey, you got to meet these better mattress guys. So I just due diligence. I fly down to Florida to meet with the guy. We hit it off, and next thing you know, we've got their products, and that they're called Essentia, and that is, I mean, that's probably the coolest thing, because you can't go try them anywhere else. And Consumer Reports, 3 years in a row, they've beat every major manufacturer ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're kind of the house of the Consumer Reports #1 mattress, and not only is it #1, it's the only certified organic. It's rated the healthiest mattress in the world.
What? Yeah, man, I'm at to pick up one of them things.
Very, very grateful for that opportunity. The owners are a good friend of mine now.
Okay.
I had a guy in the store the other day looking at those, and he asked a question that I couldn't answer.
Right.
And I said, let me see if Jack will answer his phone, which is the owner. And sure enough, I call him. He's like, oh my God, you're talking to the owner of that company who's got, this is a multi-billion-dollar.
Right.
So
awesome.
That's cool. And so that I used to be very proud of myself
with
my design, and then I met him, and I'm like, man, talk about bringing somebody down to a level of just complete humility. I'm like, you got it going on.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, all right, so let's take it back to right after baseball. So, actually, let's take it back to baseball, man. I'm curious to hear about that. So you said you tried out for a major league team.
Yes.
Which team was it?
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Which happens? What's crazy is the whole time this is going on.
Yeah.
That's my favorite team. They got my favorite player.
The Phillies.
And
your favorite team?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not anymore, because what happened was I learned that I really loved the player.
Okay. Yeah.
when he left to go to L.A., I was like, oh, I kind of like L.A. now.
Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. I'm bad about that.
Well, Philadelphia was good. They were winning World Series, and it's hard to watch a team win a World Series, and then the next year all the players get sold off, and you're just like, man, I don't know. I'm torn.
Yeah.
Because I know they're not going to win, so if I root for them, I'm going to be let down.
Right.
And so so went to a Phillies trial, and this is after. Here's what's funny. I'm in like a 6-month in between college. I had a couple injuries, so I didn't know if I was going to get to play as a senior.
Oh, okay.
So I'm selling mattresses.
Wow.
And I'm training for baseball.
Wow.
So I go.
So you going both ways. You getting them both ready, whichever one.
Yeah. And so I get this opportunity, and I'm so nervous. And I get down to the spring training.
Yeah.
And the first day, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna face live pitching," and I'm like, "Dude, I haven't seen live pitching in 6 months. Could I just watch some pitches, and they're like, just get in there and swing it, right?
Yeah.
And so, no joke, first at bat, the guy's, it's a knuckleball guy, knuckleball fastball. He throws me a knuckleball, and I'm like, man, this is
that's the one that goes kind of straight at you that don't move.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so I'm like, I know I'm not gonna be able to hit the knuckleball because I haven't seen a knuckleball my entire life for 6 months. And then so I sat on the fastball, got a fastball, and hit it out of the yard. Now I'm not a power hitter. So it was a freak thing. So I remember, and I played second base.
Yeah.
So after this, I hit this ball, and of course I'm cocky and arrogant back then.
Right.
So I'm like, I mean, I don't say nothing. I act like I hit them all the time. That's my first home run in 10 years.
Yeah, you got to act like you've been there, right?
And so the scout was like, what position did you say you play again? I was like, well, second base. And he's like, did you say catcher? And I was like, second base. And he's like, did you say catcher? And I said, catcher. Yeah. So their whole deal was that I batted left and threw right.
Okay.
And
so you batted left and threw right. So
very rare.
Yeah, that is rare.
And they like that for catchers, but I never caught, and that was a hard trade to learn. It was like, think about if you were learning catching at an elementary level, the speed of the game you could keep up with, but when you get to that level, it's a speed that if you've never done it, is so hard.
Man,
so
you preaching to the choir. Yeah. I made it to the little traveling baseball team I think we were 13, 14, 15, and I had played catcher all as a kid, like 9, 10, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I get to that league, man, and dude throws a curve, the first curve ball I ever caught. And I went to catch it. Like, normal, when it went around my glove, hit me in the shoulder, man, I ain't played baseball since, man.
I remember the first time I never saw 90 miles an hour until I was in summer ball after my senior year of high school. Wow. And this kid's throwing 90, and that's unheard of in this area, and you don't see it. Wow. You hear it.
Yeah.
And then it's funny, though, because once you see it enough, it slows down, and then 90s, but I don't think 95 ever gets.
Yeah, 90 is a 90. I'm live. Man. Let it hit the wall and bounce back. Yeah.
So, needless to say, I had sold mattresses. I knew that was fun.
Yeah.
Did this baseball thing. Had the fiance.
Yeah.
And just kind of realized that there's a point in time in life when. If fun.
So how old are you at this time? That time?
23.
So wow. So at that young, you was thinking like lifestyle, like.
I mean, it was a light bulb moment. It wasn't. Wow, I didn't think that way.
Deep.
The kid that I told you about, the American Express.
He
was playing for the Yankees.
Gotcha.
So I was training with him, and he's the one. Man, this guy he has a business around here called house fitting.
Yeah.
He was buying houses while he was in the off season, and he was building his business. I wasn't thinking that way. I was reckless. But but I just remember when the contract came and I'd sold mattresses, I'd saved money to go try out for ball, and I knew that was going to run out. And then I just was like, man, weighing everything, I said it's more responsible for me to go home and start a career as opposed to try to become a catcher.
Wow. Do y'all hear that out there? At 23, man, this man made a decision, a brain decision, like with his brain to, hey, man, I could go home, work for myself, become great, versus just taking the contract to solidify your dreams.
If it because then I could have been Chad Cunningham, professional baseball player, right? And that would have been a big thing. And I could have rode that way.
Because I'm sure as a kid, that's all you would.
That's all.
Major league.
Yeah. But I also was thinking about Chad Cunningham, the husband, and Chad Cunningham, the father, and all that. And I had dreams for that. So I hung it up, and I'm telling you right now, it was the best car ride home.
I mean, you just don't hear that, man. Most people. I mean, they would take that contract in a heartbeat and say, forget the fiance.
Yeah.
We moving to Philly or not, you know what I'm saying? So that's dope.
I just kind of saw, all right, well, I'll be 23 and in 4 years I'll be 27 and I won't have nothing. It was to be honest with you, it was an easy decision, even though it seemed like it's hard because, like, my heart would have said keep playing ball because you've been playing since you were 7.
Exactly.
And then you have to figure out, okay, well, my brain says it'd be smarter to do this, but also, where's your heart really at? Is your heart into a game or a person? And that's when you really question, like, if a game means more to me than a person, then
Oh, that's deep, man. That's deep because I mean,
it's at the end of the day, it's still a game. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's some guys out there that were born to play that game and make a living, but it's a game. Yeah, and it's like, you know, that game, the legacy of the father and everything. Yeah, that's so much more important than the game. Well, yeah. And you know, so many people get tied up into their identity. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell how many people I know that identified as a baseball player, as an athlete, and when those days are over, you're talking about dark depression because that's all they were known as. Right. You know, it wasn't, hey, the kind-hearted or, you know, the follower of Christ or something like that. It was, you know, he was the ball player, and you don't get to take that with you. Right,
right. That's deep too, because we were talking about a little bit before the podcast. I was so hung up on this bodybuilding thing, man. I was like, I'm gonna be an IFBB pro, man. I ate all the food. I did all the workouts. I did everything. I cut bulk. I did everything you could possibly do that I was willing to do it. And I finally stepped on the stage, man. And after I did it and saw what really had to be done, I looked around and said, you know what? Let me take all this passion and effort and energy and put it into something that my family can benefit. That's just not just selfish.
It's not going to kill you.
Yeah, it's not going to kill me. I can actually be here to, you know, see my daughters go to prom or, you know, Lord willing, they won't go. They'll just, you know, stay at home with daddy, but, you know, that's all another story.
I remember when I did this show, and I worked hard for 6 months or whatever, and I go to the show, and I get second place, and I get a trophy, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. I did all that for 6 months for a trophy. Now, here's the best thing ever. It wasn't 2 weeks after I had won the trophy, because I went on vacation to the Dominican the next day.
Oh, nice.
But and on vacation, I lost all that hard work.
Oh, yeah. Well, but you was looking real down there.
But about 2 weeks later, my son at the time, he's 6 now, so he had to be 1 or just.
Oh, wow, yeah.
He breaks the trophy. And I'm like, now I got 6 months and all I got was a trophy, and then it's a broken trophy. So
wow. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I put a lot into it, but the health part of it I like.
And once you understand the health part, then it all makes sense. That's when you find yourself stretching. And
I mean, I'm stretching every day. It's crazy. I never used to stretch.
All right, true story.
Okay.
So I'm in Nashville. 4 months ago. Yeah. And I'm doing a commercial with the NHL hockey player. His name's Matt Duchene. This kid's
like I've heard that name.
Yeah, he's a big player. He's with the Predators.
That's why I've heard the name. Okay.
So he's 27 years old. Yeah, and we do this commercial, and somehow he can't get his phone to pick up an Uber. So then he said, "Hey." I said, man, I'll give you a ride. Yeah. I never met, you know, to me, when you start meeting players in the NBA and NHL and they're younger than you, you know you're old.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, he's supposed to be 40, you know. So anyway, let me meet Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I'm in the car, and next thing I know, I find myself giving him advice. Like, hey, man, are you stretching? And it was like, he's like, not as, you know, and it was cool because his back's shot from playing hockey all the years. Oh. But, you know, that was my big thing. Him, it wasn't like, don't work out. Like, I'm like, you can work out, but if you're not stretching, you're honestly, you're going to be hurting.
Man, you preaching to the choir, because I training for this show, my knees, man, it's not, I found out it wasn't my knee. It's like the quad and stuff that attaches to it. And it was, I mean, it felt like somebody had a knife in them, man. And I had to squat because I needed my legs for the show. And I'm just like, man, I'm dealing with it. And I finally break down, I go to the chiropractor, and that's all he's doing is stretching me. Yeah. That's all he's doing. So now every day I get there 10 minutes earlier just to stretch. And it don't take long. A lot of people think, I need to do this whole, you know, yoga hour stretching. No, just stretch. You know, just a couple of football practice stretches, and you.
If you're gonna work out, stretch. I don't care if it's heavy, light. Yeah. It's just, I mean, 30 years old, I woke up hurting, and I said, man, at 34, I feel better than I did at 27. That's how I feel. But at 30. I mean, because I didn't know. Nobody taught me that. Yeah, no. You know, I remember playing sports. I mean, the stretching became so, like, routine that you didn't even take it for what it was. And when you're, you know, 21, you could throw a ball twice and you're ready to go.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, bend over and touch your toes and run.
Run the 40. Woo, best time ever. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So everybody that come on the podcast, man, I don't know if you're a fan of rap music or not, but I gotta know it, man. Top 5 rappers of all time.
Here's the deal.
In order.
Here's the deal.
What's the deal?
You're gonna laugh at me.
That's fine. It don't matter who they are.
I'm not
your favorite.
No, I mean, gosh, I only know like if I name 5, it's only because that's the 5 I know, but it doesn't mean I'm a fan. So I mean,
no, not a fan. Just maybe I said the question wrong.
Yes.
So it's like songs. Maybe it's a song by an artist that you've heard and it's your jam.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or if you're getting pumped up for something and you want that kind of sound.
Oh, anything Rocky.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Anything Rocky. I mean, it's funny because I'm a geek. I in the gym I listen to Casting Crowns, which is just Christian music.
Okay. Yeah.
So can I just name band? If I name a rapper and I'm just gonna name it based off super creativity.
Yeah, just base it off
that's
your
Eminem.
Emotion.
Eminem.
Okay.
I mean, I think that like there's some darkness there, but just the way to tangle those words to make sense of it. There was some songs when I was a kid that we would just listen to and laugh at because this is when MTV had music videos.
Right. Yeah.
And then going into other type of music like I like Lifehouse. Yeah,
I've
so
heard of them.
I'm real. I didn't grow up in a Matchbox 20.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think, but yeah, if I'm just trying to get fired up, Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Tiger. And then there's a song I'm trying to think who sings it. It was when one of the rappers died, and he was talking about just yesterday we used to rock the show.
Oh, that's my jam.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know why. Yeah. I think it was because of I watched that Aaron Hernandez documentary.
Oh man!
And then I'm starting to read about Tupac, and I didn't know what happened. I knew growing up I was like he's not dead. So I researched what happened on Las Vegas Boulevard and all that. And man, that's crazy. And then the one guy that was with him. He's been shot twice. Yeah. And he's still around.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, Suge Knight. He's locked up though.
But I mean, I'm like, you gotta learn not to hang out with that guy.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So it's not something that I listen to really anymore, just because I don't really listen to music. So for me to name anything, my wife would be like, "Man, that's impressive. I didn't even know you knew who Eminem was." That's how bad it is.
I can dig it.
What about you?
For me, it changes every time, man. It's Tupac. I like Snoop Dogg, Twister.
Okay, Snoop Dogg was good.
Yeah.
He had a movie called like. Remember that? Where he was
yes. The car watch. Oh, which one? Not Baby Boy.
The one where he was like the vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, with Pam Grier in it.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it.
And he'd be like, dog, eat dog.
Yeah. I used to watch that movie all the time. Yeah. But some people like that Jeezy, South type stuff.
And then I watched the Friday movies with buddies of mine.
What you think of that, man? When I first saw that movie, man, so I can only compare it to so when I saw Friday, I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But then I saw Dazed and Confused as an adult. So Dazed and Confused, man, I thought I was gonna pee on myself. I was laughing so hard. So and I didn't really understand Friday as a kid, but it was still funny than a mug. Yes. So if you had to pick a funnier move between those two, which one would you?
Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
And because the way I look at movies, and I'm really plain, so I'm really vanilla. So when it comes to a movie, if I watch it one time, and let's just say it's rated a 6 out of 10 in my brain, I'm not watching it again.
Exactly.
Comes on TV, I'd rather watch something new that's a 1 out of 10 because I've already seen this one. Friday can come on TV and I've watched it. And then like my favorite all-time movie is Gladiator with Russell Crowe.
I love that movie.
That movie could play 10 times a day, and I watch it 10 times a day.
I love that movie, man.
So Friday, big time over Days. It's not even that to me is not even close.
Okay, cool. I can dig that. So Aaron Hernandez, man. So I'm watching a documentary and I listened to the podcast. There's a podcast on it that I heard before I saw the documentary on Netflix, and I had no idea this dude was actually playing football on Sundays, the greatest ever, arguably a tight end could have been.
Yeah.
And it's just a night killer.
Yeah.
By night, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what happens? Is it because you were a star athlete in high school? Mm-hmm. So is it because you're getting just these breaks and breaks and breaks your whole life that you feel like you can continue to get away with it? Because I watched him in high school, and he seemed to be just head over. Like they knew he was going to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's one of those things, and it's sad. But in society, it's like even for me, I was not a big prospect or a big athlete, but there were perks in life and throughout my career that I was like, wow, so I'm not getting away with murder, but little things that where I could see somebody that was on that level, they could live their life like it was a video game.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like they can literally live their life like it's a video game because they can't do any wrong.
Wow.
And so I feel like it's like anything, right? If you act out of emotion and you get away with something, what's to stop you from doing it again? And eventually the emotion is gone, and then it just becomes part of your character.
Man, you nailed it, man. Because at the end, when he's just lying to the coach saying whatever, it wasn't no emotions in it.
I mean, that man played football with Tim Tebow. He played football with Urban. I mean, he played football with people that had character. What I don't know if they chose to not
and believe it or not, Belichick got character. He don't want. I mean, he's gonna do what it takes to win.
But you and I know we played on teams.
Yeah.
And when there was a player that had a questionable character, it wasn't like it was hidden. Everybody knew it. I mean, y'all were like family living in the same locker room.
Exactly,
so what blows my mind is that. It just, I mean, maybe people were scared of him. Maybe people, or maybe he was the whole, football player by day and, Batman at night, whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I watched that and I thought, wow. I mean, it makes you sad because it's like there were a lot of things that he was alone in. This big, burly football player that, had this softer side of whatever that was, and he just never. It's almost like he didn't have anybody to talk to, or because he was supposed to be Superman. You can't talk about kryptonite.
Right. Yeah, and that explains his choice in friends because he's dealing with people, inner city people that he's just feeding money to, and they're like, man, you the man. Let's go do what you like to do.
Yeah, and it's here's the thing, man. People, there's I never talk about anybody because I don't walk in anybody's shoes but mine, right? So my perspective and my opinion, it only comes through my experience. And so, with somebody like that, there's a lot of people that want to be like, that guy's a animal, a monster. He was a monster, but you know what? I didn't grow up in his shoes to know what put him there. I don't think any of us decide one day I want to be a monster.
right.
Like, I mean,
unless something's mentally wrong with you. It's either or,
But even, I feel like even the people that would be mentally wrong and be monsters are still in denial.
Yeah. They're like, no, I'm a good guy.
And they really believe they are.
They really believe that. Yeah.
I mean, he deserved it.
Right. Yeah. So, how can I say this? So if you were going to help somebody, because the biggest excuse I hear about not training or not being fit or not living a lifestyle is I don't have time. I'm sure you hear that excuse a lot. I don't have time to live. I don't have time.
I have some really good perspective for that.
That's why I'm asking.
But the question is what?
The question is this: you're a business owner, a dad, a husband, a brother. You're all those things. A church going man that takes care of the youth. So time isn't on your side as far as So what advice would you give somebody to fit it in, or give me your perspective on that?
All right. So I've been dealing with a lot of this in my life because obviously, even something like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Time it's a reality.
Yeah.
But lack of time is an excuse 100% of the time. Okay.
Yeah, you said
so
that.
If somebody says, I don't have time, that means they don't want to get up earlier, right?
Yeah.
Or they don't want to go to bed earlier.
Right.
They don't want to make time. So for me in my life, like I'm a part of several groups now that I've never been a part of.
Yeah.
And I remember finding myself like these groups take an hour and a half, and I remember finding myself thinking, I don't really want to do that because I don't have the time. But what I realized was I didn't have the time because I didn't want the time. You make time for everything. Like if you're a video gamer, you're gonna play video games, right? But you just say I don't have time to go to the gym. So it's because you don't want to go to the gym. If you want to go to the gym, you'll make time. I found myself I didn't put enough in my prayer life, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? I get home from work, I got my kids. You know what happened? I prayed, hey, give me time to pray, right? What will happen? I wake up at 3:00 wide awake.
Wow.
Right? 3:00 wide awake, and that's like, here's your time.
Yeah, here's your time.
So, I think with time, you can have, and don't get me wrong, okay? You got a list of things that are important to you, and people are always more important than selfish desire.
Right.
But, I mean, I have found that all I have to do is shift things around, and I can have time. There is nothing that I don't have time for, but there's everything that I can make an excuse not to have time for.
Man, That's deep. That's deep because I run to that all the time, man. Because when I started this podcast, I was like, the excuse was I didn't start it 5 years ago. Is I didn't have time.
Exactly.
Right? I didn't have time.
And now look, number 32.
It's crazy because now I'm like I want to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make the time, So that's really cool.
Where your heart is, there your treasure is, and you'll always make time for those things. And it's good. It's good to learn that what you don't make time for is what you don't want to do. People have come to me all the time and they're asking me about lifting weights and eating and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, I can tell you everything to do, but you'll waste my time and yours if it's not what you want to do. Exactly. So come to me when you want to do it, and I'll give you the recipe. Yeah. But, you see so many people go in there for 2 weeks, and I'm like, they signed a 3-year contract.
Wow.
Yeah. So that to me, if you I will never quit preaching it because I've seen it in my own life. And when I see it in my own life from a guy that doesn't have time.
You got a lot going on.
I mean, this happened, right? We made it work.
We made it work.
So it took us 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Well, I could have easily thrown in the towel.
Yeah, me too.
And you too. And been like, forget it. I'm moving on to number 32 somewhere else. But it's like, I wanted to do it.
And I wanted to do it.
Because I didn't know what this was.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Hey, it's going to be cool. And what's funny about me is anybody that knows me will tell you, like I'm a one-on-one guy.
Yeah.
I don't like the light. So I'm nervous. But this is cool because this actually helps me for the next time. Because there are some stages that I have to get on.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about those stages is I could be an example on those stages, but not if I clam up. So, So all of this is preparation.
And that's what this podcast is for, man. It's just for encouragement. And
I appreciate
teaching people like, hey, look, man, we've been in the game a while. We're not over the hill.
I ain't been in as long as him.
Old man jokes. But but we ain't over the hill yet, and we still get a lot done.
Both family men.
Yeah,
I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old at home.
A 1-year-old?
Yeah.
I know you had a 1-year-old.
B2, the 4th, April 4th.
Both boys?
Both boys, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, you are a good guy, man. You are a good guy. Because they say if you have boys, you're good. I don't know if that's still the saying or not. Because I got all girls.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting penalized.
Yeah, I'm getting all penalties.
No, let me tell you something. I'm living proof that saying is not true.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
I'm the chief of the worst.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so this what made you think of the name Better? Like that's really a dope play on words, man.
Listen, I can't take credit for it.
Okay.
We were Beds to Go.
Okay.
And that's what my dad.
So that's what was on the.
That's
yeah.
So Beds to Go became was the name of the brand.
Okay.
And I had bought this company that had like 9 stores.
Okay.
And I went to name them all Beds to Go. And in doing that, I realized that my dad, being old school, didn't know what trademarking and all that was. Oh. So that it was actually trademarked somewhere else, and that prevented me. So at the time, I was coming up with different names. Well, my uncle has a store down in South Georgia.
Yeah.
And he had called his store Bed Firm. And one of the local or one of the national competitors had put out they were called Mattress Firm.
Yeah.
So he had to change the name so he'd come up with Better Mattress. So then I took that brand and I said, man, let me do something with it. So the logos and the Goodnight just got better.
Yeah.
We took it from one little store down in Valdosta, Georgia, and expanded that, and that's become so now it's become like the brand.
Because I thought it was so dope when I saw it. Because I was like, I kept asking my wife. I said, "Does that say Better?"
It's so funny because sometimes like you'll get shipments in, and it'll say like Bed R Mattress, or like you'll have those automatic phone calls hey, this is Bed R Mattress, and then you'll have people say bedroom, but it's supposed to be better, like everything, and where I really like that word, and because you look at it and you see the word bed, and then you're confused about what that means, but you remember it because you're like, man, somebody knows how to spell bed. But what I like about it is like it goes back deep into the roots of like who I am and what I wanted, is that like everything, just like everything we've been talking about, is an improvement upon what you do. Like if it's your prayer life, if it's your life with your wife, there's nothing that we do that can't be better. And so that was like, your good night can just be better. But see, and it doesn't end there, because I have new collections called Better Days and Better Life. It's all about good night leading to better days, better attitude, better gym life. Like so, all of that stuff goes in together. And I'm a big, I'm a big believer in quality sleep and all that.
Oh yeah.
But I'm a big believer in a quality of a lot of things.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think that's it fits perfectly with my values and what we try to do. And, so, I mean, I tell my salespeople all the time, and they're strong. I'm just like, man, the day you don't feel like you can get better, you need to do something else.
Yeah.
Because even me, man, like every day, I got better today at something.
Yeah. If you
I can't tell you what yet, but maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. It'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be all right. So it's funny you say that, man, because today we're in a society of quantity.
Yes.
Quantity. Even with this podcast stuff and this internet stuff I'm working on, it's just quantity. But I've learned something about that. It's crazy what happens the more you do something. You get better.
Yes.
It's crazy, man. And then you get more efficient.
I have a good one for you.
Okay.
All right, you'll love this. This is good for the parents. So he talked about quantity, repetition, and becoming better.
Yeah.
I volunteered for the first time ever at my son's school, and they have a watchdog program.
Wow.
Okay, so it's basically you become a male figure at the school all day. For the students, and I did not look forward to it because I don't like the crowds and the spotlight. Right, all of a sudden I'm something that I don't feel like I am. And
well, you are.
So this great experience, but I've always had a problem, and you'll love this conversation because it's deep. But I've had a problem with homework. Okay, because when you have homework, you're teaching a kid to bring the work home with them.
Yeah.
All right. As a man, if you bring your work home with you, what happens?
Oh man.
She leaves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and so I'm with the principal of this elementary school, and I asked her the question. And I said, I'm not trying to be like political about this. I want to know where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because I feel deeply like if these kids are going to school for 7 hours, why they have to bring stuff home?
Yeah.
And she said, I don't believe in hours of homework. What I believe is in repetition. And I'm like, perfect.
Okay.
Not an assignment, but repetition.
Yeah.
Like, hey, read for 10 minutes with your kid. You know what? That also gets me involved with my kid.
Yeah.
And I thought, now my perspective was different because repetition makes you better. And I sat there and I read with probably 8 to 10 kindergarten kids, and I saw different levels that would blow your mind from one to the next.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, exactly what you said, that repetition is the key. And now I don't hate it because now I look at it like, you know what? That is time for me to put into my kid, spend quality time. Because I'll tell you what else I didn't realize. I didn't realize how much a kid, no matter how well they read or not, just enjoys reading to their parents. And that was awesome.
Man, I never thought about that either. Yeah.
I mean, I was the hero at the school that day, and everybody, Maze's dad.
Yeah.
But Willie Maze.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So my kid's name's Maze after Willie.
Yeah.
And just getting to see that, and like it changed my perspective. And once again, it changed my perspective for betterment. About how I felt about something that I didn't really have a clue about what it was.
Right. Because I'm with you on that. Because I've never thought about it that way. Mm-hmm. But you're right. If you're at school 7 hours, why are you coming home with homework?
They have so much to cover.
Yeah, they do.
Right,
in
a limited time. And
not to mention, kids' attention span is like a fuse.
Their attention span and then their ability to learn changes from one kid to another. So it's like the curriculum, you're trying to cover a curriculum for a group of kids that don't have the same learning curves.
Right.
So you kind of have to have this exact that that you hope that they eventually get to second, third, or fourth grade. And I heard at third grade they level out.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's awesome. And I'll tell you, I grew up in the county schools, and the school systems in Blount County are just amazing. The passion that people have for that trade, and there's something we don't think about. You're here to talk about mattresses, man.
No.
I know. I mean, we're here talking about mattresses, but they would talk about kids in the same way, and you'd be like,
wow.
I
see what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, it's funny, man, because we're in like a town where it's kind of loving community. Everybody knows each other. Or if you don't know them, you're like, man, they look real familiar.
Yes.
But it's like because you see them every day. You know what I'm saying? So
you're from Nashville, so you and I both know what it's like to be somewhere different. I was born in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Went down.
What part of Florida?
I was born in a little town called Lake Wales, which is like centralish.
And because I went to school in Winter Park, Florida, Orlando.
Winter Park, yeah.
So
not too far away.
Okay.
Those little, it's funny because it would be like when we say Lake Wales and Winter Park.
Yeah.
You have to say Knoxville.
Right. Or Orlando. I was like, Orlando. I know Orlando.
Even though it's an hour away.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah. Man, so that's cool, man. That's cool. So, with you, so does your kid, is he gonna play baseball? Or what? I guess what I'm saying is, are you pushing them?
No.
Encouraging? Okay.
No.
Okay.
In fact, my 6-year-old only plays soccer. And and I, he wanted to play baseball, and this year for the first time he wanted to play baseball, and I said, okay. I said, well, what we have. I talked to him like he's a kid, but also like an adult.
Yeah.
And try to help him make a decision based on facts, and so he could play soccer as a 6-year-old on a 5- and 6-year-old team, which is what he played in the fall, and he did very well.
Gotcha.
He could play baseball on a 7- to 9-year-old team. And because the way the age works, and so he doesn't do well if he fails, and he's going to fail against 9-year-olds. So I talked to him. I said, "Hey, Maze," I said, "Son," I said, "you have 2 options. Option A is you can play a sport you never played before, and you're going to be one of the youngest ones out there. And so not only are you the youngest, but you've also never played, so you're way behind. Option B is you can play soccer." And it's a sport you played 3 seasons, and you could do very well. Which one sounds more fun to you? Because I'm cool with whichever, but you have to understand what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so he picked soccer. And I said, and now we can go in the fall and play baseball and play as a 6 and 7. or a 5 and 6. The Alcoa, they have different ages.
Yeah.
So like Anthony's boy is playing, and Anthony's like, well, is he going to be on the team? And I'm like, well, he's playing soccer. So It to me, it was fun because I let him make that choice.
Right.
I mean, would I rather watch him play baseball than soccer? That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because I was a baseball player.
Right.
But, what I want him to do is I want him to do what he wants to do based on what the outcome is going to be.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was just curious, man, because a lot of, I just wondering, because a lot of people like to live their dreams to their kids. So I was just curious if that was just something.
I've seen that too much to where there's the taste for that is so bad.
Yeah.
When I came home from school and from baseball, I would have parents that wanted me to work with their kids. And I remember this one particular situation where the kid was going to try out for the high school team.
Oh.
And the parent was wanting me to do a lesson. And I went out there and, the first thing I would do is put the ball on the tee and just kind of see the swing speed and all that.
Right.
Well, he would swing and miss on the tee.
Oh.
And I said, listen, I think you want this, but I don't think he wants it.
Gotcha.
And I can't teach him to hit this ball off this tee because that's just eye-hand coordination. That's basic fundamentals that you learn at 6.
Right.
And I was like, why don't you have a discussion with him and figure out what he really wants to do, because I don't feel like this is a good investment of your time, my time, or his time. And that was it.
Gotcha.
And so that was the situation where, sometimes we see our kids better than they are, or, not wrong when they are wrong. And so that was an eye opener. So I really was like, I learned that was before I had kids.
Gotcha.
And that was cool because I was like, listen, I please don't let me be that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, because I mean that's not. There's no end result in any of that's good for anybody.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way with my kids.
It's a letdown on both parts. Yeah. And then if you get your kid who doesn't make the team, because you shouldn't have told him he's good enough to go out there, then he's let his friends down and himself down and you down, and it's just that's a train wreck.
Yeah, I'm the same way because my daughters, man, I'm like, they ask me kind of what they want to play. I'll give you an example. So I wanted them to play basketball because I thought they would like it.
Yes.
But in their mind, they're thinking boys sport. That's a boys sport. So, I sign them up. I'm like, because I tell them, you got to play something. We're going to have to play something to be active, because all y'all do is sit around on these iPads. You got to do something. You can't go outside no more because of these predators. So you got to do something to be active. So I signed them up for basketball, and I'm driving my oldest one to practice, and she's just down and defeated. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? She said, well, is there going to be any little girls there? I'm like, baby, it's going to be all girls. It's a girls' league. And she just cheered up and lit up like a lamp, man.
Yeah, so the perspective was wrong.
The perspective was wrong. And she gets there and she's like, we playing next year, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, man, so.
That's because she sits there and watch Daddy watch
with LeBron, or fall asleep. Well, I try to watch it.
Yeah, because nobody watches a WNBA.
No,
and I'm not being,
that's
just not, It's the saddest sport, women's sport, in my opinion, because, I mean, those girls work harder than anybody.
Yeah, and what's funny is I would watch it because I watch girls track and field all the time with my daughters. And, but I would watch WNBA, but I just never see it when I'm flipping through the channels.
It's not on the big channels, not unless anything else is going on. How about this March Madness with no, I thought that was a joke.
I thought it was too.
When I was getting those texts, and I'm thinking, wow, You talking about the biggest thing about from financial standpoint?
Yeah.
The commercials, what they just went to.
Wow.
Because you got to think, everybody that was going to go is not going to go, and everybody's going to watch it. So those commercial spots just turned into super value.
Well, so here's what I'm thinking though. You got a big old arena that's empty, so that's like a practice. How you gonna? So home court advantage is based on the crowd, or if whoever's fan base shows up the best, pumps up the team. So now you in there making buckets, and you actually hearing the nets.
Yeah,
how you gonna get amped up for that?
I feel like there would be a. I don't feel like that would feel like a real game. I feel like you would. I feel like you would, if you fouled out, you'd be like, for real? Like, you know, how did I foul out? Like,
it's practice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then think about if you score a bucket and the announcer talks, but there's nothing to stop the noise. So it's just like might as well be speaking in your ear. Yeah. It'll be interesting. It's I don't know. Maybe it'll be one of those things that we watch. We're like, that's cool to see that, and
that's true. That's true.
The cream always rises to the top, no matter the occasion.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, now ETSU has a good chance to win because you leveling the playing field now.
Oh yeah.
Whoever practices the best, is a better team.
Yeah. So it's. I didn't believe it. I thought my friends were pranking me. I said, man, I'm gonna get a janitor costume and get a front row seat.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, because I was listening. LeBron was talking about it. They asked him, I think it was Monday or Sunday, I can't remember which day, but anyway, they was asking him, would you play in an empty stadium? He said, no, I play for the fans. That's the reason why I play is for the fans.
Oh, that is, you know what? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he said, why would I come to the arena if ain't no fans? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then heard some radio people make fun of him, said, LeBron, if it's the playoffs and y'all in the playoffs, guess what you're gonna be?
Yeah,
you're gonna be playing.
The show must go on. That's the thing is like it's called March Madness, not April.
Yeah,
So, I think it'll be a piece of sports history that as crazy and unfortunate it is. I think that the people that are a part of that, like the players that are a part of that, get that like there's some overcoming to be done there. Yeah. Overcoming obstacle that you just talked about. Like how do you get up for it? Well, you know what? If you can get up for that, you could get up for anything.
Yeah. Anything.
Yeah. So especially, you go in, you're a 16, and and you got nothing to lose, but you got nobody there to see you lose. So it's the pressure really mounts to nothing because you don't have that number one seed over there. Their fans going nuts, and if you're a number 16 and playing number one, odds are that school's bigger than yours.
Yeah, you get down 10, you defeat it because the crowd just booing you out the, or cheering you out the building.
So there could be some dynamics to that just make it very interesting, and there could be some teams that you see, like you said, that practice team that looks at it like practice. Because I know, like for me, man, one of the biggest things, I got invited to hit into the Smoky Mountain Classic this year.
What?
No, before I didn't hit a single home run.
Oh,
I can't. The spotlight gets to me, man.
Seriously?
Yeah, it does.
You don't strike me as that type, man.
It just, I don't. I can't be the center of attention. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm in there and I feel myself shaking. And so let's say that you were going to throw batting practice to me and it was called the Derby, but I didn't have the crowd watching. Oh, man, I'd probably hit 10 out of 10. I can't. It's not even that I can't laser focus. It's that I just feel like the everything's gets smaller around me. I feel like I'm getting like it is.
Wow, and that's deep because you got players that like I was a better practice basketball player in high school.
Yes,
practice I was. But the game,
it's something to do with the lights coming on. It didn't really affect me much in baseball. It's just one of the because like baseball. There's 18 players out there. You already got 9 on the. Even if you're batting, you still got more people. They're looking at the pitcher. But when you're in a home run derby,
right.
Hey, now hitting Chad Cunningham, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
dang.
You just put all the way.
We may see the next MJ, come out of it. Like, they never even heard of.
There could be something that just you get a guy. That it might be a 6-man. Yeah, it might be a practice player that like, man, if he would ever just play like he practices,
put him in. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I don't want to hold you all night. I know you got a family to get to and stuff, man. But I do want to ask you one more thing, kind of about
no rap questions.
No, not this time. Not this time. Yeah. But I just had to know, man. That's my favorite.
No,
question.
I think I handled it okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You did good.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah, you did good. You did good. So you said you learned the business, and we're talking about the beds. And then so what made you start wanting to design them though? Like, or what gave you the even confidence to say, hey man, I can make that?
Okay, so every mattress person, that's in mattresses, you basically go to these trade shows and you pick your mattress from the outside in. Okay. So you're like, oh, it's pretty. So every you go to these trade shows and you pick your mattresses and it's like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Right? So the first thing is the visible. Okay. I'm like, man, that's not right. That doesn't make me sleep better, and I'm going to cover it with a sheet. So I enjoy the artwork, but let me tell you.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I've picked a mattress before because of how I looked, and that makes me feel like an idiot.
Oh, I've had women that say, yeah. So they are better looking. They used to have flowers over and all that. So for me, I'm like, well, why would I pick it from the outside in when I have friends in the manufacturing business? Why don't I do it from the inside out?
Wow. Okay.
So I got involved, and I saw like big companies that were founded, like, let's say I sold this business to the wrong person.
Okay.
That happens.
Yeah.
Okay. And now when it was about the consumer and the product, it just becomes about the dollar. And I saw that happen with major brands. And I'm like, man, they're taking shortcuts. So I said, if I go out and do my own, quality control, I can put my name on it. I can sit back and tell this story. And nobody else is doing that. I mean, most of the people, like when they're advertising, nobody does it better than us. It's everybody does it just like you. That's the truth. And then with us, it's like we have things that, if we had the time, very compelling, and that, we have testimonials where people come in and, man, when you change somebody's life, when it's something that you've designed for that specific purpose and it does it, it's very rewarding. And I just don't feel like there's a lot of industries out there where people don't do what they say they're going to do, but they advertise so well that they keep,
I've got sucked a couple times.
So and so started working with people, developed a couple national brands, saw things take off and go all over the United States. And thought, wow, this is cool. And what's cool is I don't want a reward for that. I'm glad to help.
Wow. Man, that's awesome, man. I'm gonna take you on a little tour if you're watching it on YouTube around the store, so you can kind of see some of his work. But
so this is the organic ones I was talking about on the podcast that are exclusively at Better Mattress. That's Essentia. Little chart there shows the difference in the levels of them. Sitting on adjustable basis, so you can watch TV in bed, read. Also helps with back pain. There's been a lot of people with back issues that have got fixed on that. And here's our newest stuff right here. So when my dad founded the company back in 1992, he formed his business on what's called the marvelous middle. So if you look at the middle of these beds, they put more coils and higher dense foams in the middle, which keeps it from sagging. So we've brought that back after, golly, it's probably been about 7 years since it's been in the store. So we brought that back. Here, this is a project I worked on for 2 years. These are called Better Nights. Take your hand and put it here and here, and we'll feel the difference in the cold of those two.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now touch that one.
I want this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I said, these took me 2 years to make.
So you made this one?
Yeah.
Man, that's dope, man.
Design the covers, foam, all that.
Let me look at this price tag, and it's good pricing. So this is for the bed. That's for the bed. And then what's the mattress?
These will run you about $2,000.
Okay, that's still a good deal. Yeah, that's still a good price.
They're about half the price of the top competitors.
Wow. Yeah.
Here's some beds we just got done doing, and these are cool because this is called hand tufted. So this tuft goes all the way through the mattress, okay? What it does, it keeps the foam from shifting, and it helps the durability of the mattress. That's the old school. That's vintage hybrid.
What?
Today's technology with yesterday's, durability.
Yeah.
And then, he tries to have a price point for every customer. So as you can see back here, this is kind of the value rack.
Okay.
These will be everything under $1,000. I think there's probably 5 or 6 queen sets at $399. So this is just, some people live on different budgets, and some people they say, oh man, a mattress is expensive. It's not expensive. Any budget you have, we can take care of.
Okay.
These are the Biltmore beds that we are kind of exclusive partners with. So this would be Some of the hotels over in the Asheville, North Carolina area will carry this, and this is the Biltmore brand. The designs on the mattresses are actually designs found within the house, so it's pretty cool.
Oh,
kind of a luxury.
That's nice. Yeah. Man, you gonna have my wife in here have me buying a mattress.
We have the Sheiks, which are like the Under Armour clothing.
Oh,
you've heard of those?
Yeah.
Those were designed by I think her name is Michelle Marciniak, and she was a former Tennessee basketball player.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her. Yeah,
that's her brand. So we've got those, and then these are all his accessories with his mattress protectors, and when you get a mattress, just having the ability to keep it clean and protect your investment.
Nice.
And then there's our buddy Eric Ainge. That Ed is my father. There's a little handwritten letter to him, and this is the desk where.
That's where it goes down.
Right.
Man, that's such a light for young people and people like our age or my age and a little bit younger like yourself. Because a lot of times when we get older, we get caught up in the cycle. Work, home, and we don't chase any passions, or we don't think outside the box enough to even be creative anymore. Our creativity kind of dwindles with age, man, and that's the purpose of this podcast, just to encourage people. It's never too late.
That's right.
You can get up and you can do something, or if you see something that needs fixed, you know what? Just fix it.
Yes.
Make it better. Make it how you would want it to be, and then all of a sudden now you got something you love to do, and you're doing it.
And it's all about believing in yourself. I mean, if you believe in yourself and you bet on yourself, I don't believe you'll fail. I think that a firm belief in following the right direction and listening to the inner spirit and going with that. I think that that's the thing is like do nothing out of fear.
Right.
Be courageous and strong.
Yeah, and that's the key, because I see it every day, and I went through it for and I kind of wasn't going through it because I was chasing a passion. But I still was going through it like the whole part of not chasing my passion.
Yes.
I'm putting all this focus into my job, my family, but then I'm coming home putting all this focus into bodybuilding, and it was killing me.
It's funny, too, how that will change. And you'll realize I didn't even really love it for what I thought I loved it for. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But what really matters is this. But learning that I didn't love this as much helped me learn that I love this.
Yeah. It's all So follow whatever you enjoy to do. Do it, man.
Yes.
Do it. Don't sit around and say I ain't got time to do it, or whatever the excuse is you can make.
Shuffle the time around. Shuffle it around,
and
what's important to you, you'll make time for.
Perfect. Well, yeah. Tell them where they can find you, or where they can get any of those. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah. But yeah, tell them where they can find you. Maybe shop with you. Shop online.
We have some stuff online. I don't love the online thing because I feel like you should lay on it because it's like you could call me and I could talk you through it, and I feel a lot better about than you just clicking the button. There's all these people buying these online, and the return rates are like 28%.
We bought a mattress online.
Yeah.
Are you hearing this? Why we bought a mattress online?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, live and learn.
Man, it's terrible.
And don't sleep good.
Yeah, my back is shot. But anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, we have this location here in Maryville, and then I have 5 more in Knoxville, and one in Oak Ridge.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean,
so are you in Knoxville? Talking to East Tennesseans that may be watching, are you west side, east side, north?
Around the mall, the Clinton Highway area.
Mall?
Yeah, Westtown Mall.
Okay, Clinton Highway.
And then Oak Ridge.
So
I have 3 on Kingston Pike and West Knoxville.
3 on Kingston Pike and okay.
Yeah, they kind of represent different things. One's over in front of Academy, so closer to Farragut, and then the one's down there across from Chili's across from the gallery there.
Gotcha. Okay, I know where you're
and that's closer to Bearden. So there's so many stores in Knoxville that you kind of have to place yourself in a position.
I'm with you.
But yeah, we have great people: Mike, Christina, Bob, great marketing girl named Nicole, and just a really good core group of folks. And then every once in a while you'll pop in and I'm there.
Oh, so, nice.
Nice. I do a lot of the operations now.
Yeah.
But it is fun because. Sometimes I'll be in the store and people come in, I'll be working with them, and we do the sports radio stuff with Eric Ainge.
Oh, nice.
And Eric and I are kind of, we'll talk on there sometimes, but, I'll say, hey, I was glad to help you out, and then, my name's Chad. And they're like, wait, you're the Chad from the Eric Ainge show.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, well, listen, I'm just Chad, not the Chad, but.
No, you're the Chad. Yeah, you're the Chad. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, there you have it. There's episode 32, #IAMWHOiAM. As always, I like to go through leave us thumbs up on YouTube, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that good stuff. If you have a negative comment, feel free, leave it in the comment section, but leave us 5 stars and thumbs up, because I'll address the negativity in the comments, but just leave us 5 stars so we're on the rise, trying to make progress. So go ahead and leave me 5 stars no matter how you feel, and leave me how you really feel in the comments, and we'll be all good. But if you had anything you want to leave them with.
For the people,
people.
I'm humbled to be part of the podcast.
Man,
I didn't know what it was, and even if you have any comments that pertaining to something that maybe I touched up on that I could help out.
Oh, not to be all negative about me. No, they love my guests.
If you're gonna say something negative about me,
it's always me. My
don't tell me
good.
I can't handle it.
My guest's good.
But just feel free to comment, and we'd be glad to answer anything, and appreciate all of your local support in our business. And if any of y'all aren't sleeping great or want to come try us out, we'd glad to show you around and see if we can help you in any way possible. Once again, I just appreciate everybody tuning in to this guy. He's very impressive. We didn't know each other very well, but just in a brief time of talking,
brothers in iron,
doing a lot of good things for the community and for the future of his family.
Yes, sir. So there you have it. It's #iAMWHOiAM podcast, episode 32, and come down here to Better Mattress all over the place. Just type it in your Google Maps, and there you'll pull up, and these beds are nice. Like I said, I'm going to show y'all around so you can kind of see it, and as always, I'll be back. Yeah.